Next is from Joe. I'm not going to play this clip because this is around 5 minutes.
Figured you wouldn't.
Right, but you know the gist of the clip, right?
Once.
Do you not
yes,
read
yes,
the
I do.
letters?
Yeah, no,
Okay,
I do.
all right,
So I
okay,
did look for the right email.
All right, so this was from Roy Robertson. The subject is Dax and Road Dog feud. Hey guys, love the show. As we all know, both Konnan and Disco have been cornerstones of wrestling storytelling and instrumental in building talent. I came across this clip in which Dax Harwood responds to Road Dog's response to claims Dax made about the revival's treatment in WWE. Dax previously made comments that he was mistreated during a Raw anniversary show doing the job against DX. And in this clip, Dax dissects Road Dogg's comments and sounds like a bitter divorcee picking apart every word in a deposition. Joe, what is the gist of it?
So
should we listen to this? It's 5 minutes. It's kind of long for our
that's
mailbag.
a little long. When they did the big Raw anniversary show, and then they were at not the Hammerstein, but that other building that's a part of it. DX and Scott Hall and Nash came out, and they all hit the Revival with their finishes and beat them up and whatever. But I guess Dax's complaint is that they made fun of them backstage beforehand, and then Road Dogg and some of the guys didn't shake his hand or thank him. It's really been a thing for a while now, actually. And of course, Road Dogg basically said, like, yo, you're taking this all too seriously. Like
okay.
Liven up a little bit.
All right. So question, if Konnan and Disco and Creative are hiring talent and heard this, would it affect you working with Dax? Does this affect FTR ability to get work with promotions, big and small, in the future? Thanks for taking my question. My compliments to Hughie and his launch of interviews featuring comedians. I saw a couple clips, and it's obvious Hughie has moved on from his man crush on Konnan and is now polishing the of former Howard Stern staff members and comedians from the early 90s everyone thought had died. At least Connan's balls get a break from the Hughie polishing treatment, and that's from Rory.
Why was Hughie putting me over?
No, Hughie's not. He's putting over. He's got all these Howard Stern guys on now, so it's
right.
like, you know,
podcasters.
Well, I've never worked with Dax, okay, but Konnan is very respectful, bro. Some guys, are a lot of guys in this business that kind of take themselves too seriously and get a fit, you know, they and could get disrespected. But bro, all you care about is if the guys perform well when you give them their stuff to do. Like everybody has quirks, and like there's a lot of guys that are quirky, but it's like as long as they're good at what they do, it's like you just navigate your way through that.
Okay, not having heard the clip, I had talked. Obviously, if somebody doesn't shake your hand backstage, that's very insulting. If that actually did happen after you did the job for them, okay,
right?
So either they were in a rush because Road Dogg. That doesn't seem like he would do that, but he might have been in the rush or he had to go. I don't know. I'm not going to defend him either, but you always shake everybody's hand when you come in and when you leave. That's just wrestling protocol. Am I correct, Disco?
It's the way I've always done it.
Right. So, so I could see them getting mad about that. But I worked with FTR and some people told me, oh, they're hard to work with. So, you know, I just waited to see, and they've been nothing but incredibly easy to work with. Everything I asked them to do, they did it to the best of their ability. You know, they were super respectful, and a lot of guys, you can tell when they have their working boots on, and they always brought on their A game, you know, and so I respect all of that. So I don't really know the genesis behind this or what's really going on, but I think before, if you talk bad of a promotion, it would hinder you getting into it. I don't think it matters as much anymore.
I will say this: you saying this, that they're super respectful.
Right.
I can see guys that are super respectful kind of getting like a little upset when that respect is not reciprocated.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But some guys are just not. You know, I'm a guy that shakes hands, hug after the match.
Right. Me too.
Sometimes I've worked with guys that just 20 minutes later they'll come to, oh yeah, hey that like he hugged it, but it's just like. Sometimes you get back from the match and it's like the guy's not there. It's like, like you're not gonna sit there just wait at the. I don't know. It's just like different after every match. There's not a routine. Like sometimes you go to the back and you go in the locker room and you're waiting for the guy and he comes over. Sometimes you go to the back and maybe he's got sidetracked and stuff. But like I find it hard to believe that like maybe they came back after the match, they were all right there, and then I don't know.
Well, let me read you a little bit here so we can give a little more context.
Let me just say one last thing. Either Bobby Heenan or Gene Okerlund told me this. He said that one of the reasons that, the wrestlers called each other brother is because they were like a family. They were brothers. They stuck together, right? And that one of the reasons that you say goodbye, you shake everybody's hand before you leave the locker room, besides it's a courteous thing to do, is you don't know if you're going to see him again,
Right.
And that always stuck with me. But go ahead, Joe.
Road Dogg on his podcast says it's not that I didn't like him the day I met him. It's just that he rubbed me the wrong way.
Right.
And I don't know whether it was something he did or something that is on me. And if it's on me, I'm in a place in my life where I'm trying to correct those character defects. So if that's on me, I'll accept that. But he rubbed me the wrong way since day one. I didn't have preconceived notions. This was after our first interaction where what I saw and what I heard was exactly what I saw and just heard there. And this is what Dax said. I was telling Gable, I was telling Jason Jordan, I was telling everybody what to do. And Road Dogg came over and had an idea, and I brushed him off and acted like I knew better. And Road Dogg continues. That's what happened. I mean, he just repeated it. So look, if I was salty that day and that rubbed me the wrong way and I went over and said something negative about him, I could see that happening 100%. I could see that happening like with me and him and with 100 other people the same way. Someone rubs you the wrong way and you go and tell your friends, right? And here's what Dax said about what happened at the Hammerstein Ballroom, the Manhattan Center. Going to Raw 25, he says, I'm sorry if I upset Dax by not saying thank you, but I don't think I had to come back and say thank you for doing your job. Again, he's spinning a narrative to try to get fans on his side because he knows it's a time-honored tradition for years and years. When you get finished with a segment, when you get finished with a match, when there's business done, you walk to the back and say thank you. That's how it's always been, right? One, you say thank you for keeping me safe so I can go home tomorrow and hang out with my family. You say thank you for bumping around for me, making me look good so I can continue to make money. He knows that. He absolutely knows that. He spun his narrative so he didn't look like the bad guy, which is what I think he did the whole time I was in WWE, which in turn makes me not trust him. So there's a little context.
That's his opinion. So
yeah.
We'll see.